So at the San Paolo, it finished Napoli 1 at Liverpool 0. It looked as though Liverpool were going to hold on, cling on in the end, Stevie, for a point. But Lorenzo Insigne with different ideas.
Well, the goal was coming from the start of the second half.
Yeah.
I don't think it was any between the two sides in the first. But second half, Liverpool were under, it seemed, pressure right from the get-go. And actually, you've got to ask why Klopp never changed anything. He left Mane high, he left Firmino high, he left Salah high. And so the middle of the park was getting overrun, and the two centre-backs were heroic. They were doing everything. So, listen, the best team won. That's the bottom line.
You agree, Craig?
It was a good open game in the first half. It was a bad open game in the second half because it was wave after wave of blue jerseys and Napoli attacks, and everything that went forward for Liverpool sort of broke down on the edge of the box. Napoli came forward, and like Stevie said, it just looked as if that goal was going to come. And don't forget, Mertens hit the bar, what?
Yeah.
10, 15 minutes before that when he should have scored. Napoli absolutely deserved to win.
Carlo Ancelotti's side deserved it.
Yes, they did, certainly in the second half. In the first half was a lot of coming and going, but not real productivity in the final third. Second half, Napoli was much better, a whole lot of numbers in the attack. They created the opportunities. They get important 3 points that, by the way, complicates this group.
It does.
Up until this point, 0-0 would have been okay for Liverpool. They would have taken it. Now PSG has won. Liverpool's won. Napoli has won. It's going to be tight till the end.
Well, the one solace for Liverpool will be 2 games to come against Red Star Belgrade next in the Champions League. Of course, it's Manchester City, the small matter of them in the Premier League before they get to that. ESPN FC available every day on ESPN+. It was an odd game, wasn't it? Because it seems like both teams were becalmed in the first half. And then come the second half, it was a different story.
Well, both teams were guilty of the same thing in the first half. They were getting up to the attacking third and then just giving the ball away.
Yeah.
But the second half was, for me, was all Napoli. And I understand Klopp's philosophy about opening up and playing, regardless whether you're home or away. But there comes a time when you have to change something. And he didn't change anything. Second half, Liverpool, as I said, under pressure. You've got 10 minutes to go. You've got 2 centre-backs and your goalkeeper are performing heroics to keep the ball out the back of the net. But you persist in having 3 forwards standing up front. You've got Mane on one side, Salah on the other, and Firmino up the front. When Napoli are streaming through the middle of the park, getting at the back 4, and you could see it coming. So, if we can see it coming, why can't Klopp see it coming? Why can't he do something? Now, you could argue he couldn't have put any defensive cover on because he'd already taken Milner off, Henderson came on, Keita had to come off injured, and Fabinho came on. But at least get Mane and Salah to tuck in and help out the fullbacks, and they didn't do that. And guess what? They lose the goal with 5 minutes to go. And that is a shame because a 0-0 result would have
been a great result,
put Liverpool absolutely in pole position to qualify.
It was a funny one, Craig, because you still felt Liverpool had it in them to snatch a late winner themselves. I mean, do you think Klopp was thinking that?
Do you know, I never felt they were going to do that. No. Maybe last year I would have felt, yes, this front three is not functioning like it was last year on both sides of the game. Against Chelsea, profligate in the final third. Against Tottenham at home, at Wembley, chance after chance after chance, finally slop will pass. Poor finish. Tottenham almost get back in the game and take points off them. Probably should have done with a penalty at the end that wasn't given. And then this game again today, it was breaking down in the final third. But then, as Stevie said, particularly Salah, the Puskas Award winner for that ridiculous goal, which is never a winner, right? But I just wonder with him at the moment how much of it's in his head. Because the ball's bouncing off him, he's not holding it up, and he's not tracking back like he was. And young Alexander-Arnold, who's been magnificent over the last 18 months plus, was getting absolutely wasted down that side because we're clipping it over Salah's head. Midfielder was having to come out. They were playing it round them and they were getting down the channel.
Yeah, well, to be fair to Alexander-Arnold is the fact that it was a constant 2v1 because what Napoli was doing very well, Verdi was talking inside, Alexander-Arnold puts himself inside, and then there's the overlapping run by Mario Rui, and there is Salah coming back and trying to defend, and so he's having to pick out, okay, who is the most dangerous player, and in trying to do so, he's getting beaten behind, and then Napoli's creating all sorts of chances. To your point about Salah and Mane, neither one of them at any point in this game made an actual effort to say, you know what, It's 0-0. It's late in the game. Let's put ourselves behind the ball. Let's make them beat us. Let's put ourselves in a position where they have to break us down. And if Napoli is good enough to do that, then so be it. But make it difficult. There was no point in the second half where Liverpool were really responsible defensively, other than the center backs and the couple of guys in the midfield that are running around trying to match up with mismatches.
You know, there are things to be learned. I understand that the game's always changing and supposedly moving on, and everybody has to play out from the back. And Liverpool and City generally are fantastic at doing that, along with other teams. But there comes a time when you have to learn from the past. And when there's 10 minutes to go and you're away, particularly in Europe, against a good side, you're under severe pressure, kill the game. Let the goalkeeper kick the ball out his hands, or a goal kick, and shove everybody up and get the opposition back on their heels. Don't encourage them. You're under enough pressure, and you're taking a short goal kick with 10 minutes to go, and you're encouraging Napoli to come and squeeze the life out of you. It's madness.
On the other hand, Napoli in the second half were dominant because they were better on the ball. Their decision-making, the movement of the ball, the movement with the ball, overlapping runs on the outside. Dries Mertens, a dynamic player. Callejon down the right has always an outlet. You see a team that is dangerous enough that if you give them time and space, they're going to pick out the right pass, and then eventually they won a game that they deserve to win.
So Barcelona, 4-2 winners at Wembley Stadium against Spurs, dominating in all the statistical categories you might expect them to. Possession, shots on goal, almost twice the number of passes completed. It was a complete performance, Ali Moreno, from a side who, you know, people had been asking a few questions about over the last 3 league games, shall we say. Yeah.
Complete performance offensively.
Yeah.
Defensively, right now, if you have a pulse, you have a chance against Barcelona. The problem is that when you go press Barcelona in the way that they played tonight, if they're able to break through that pressure, then now Lionel Messi with time and space going against your back four, good luck, because he's either going to pick out the right pass or he's going to take it himself and score himself. And what we saw from him playing at this level is that there's no stopping Lionel Messi. He's still the best player in the world. Tonight, once again, with time and space, driving at defenders, picking out the passes, hitting the post, scoring goals himself, everything about Lionel Messi worked out very well for Barcelona. And it also helps that Hugo Lloris goes for a walkabout a minute into the game and allows Barcelona to settle into the match with a goal by Coutinho.
It kind of set the tone, didn't it? But Messi, Craig, I mean, the plan to rest him in the league didn't go too well for Valverde. But
no, but if the plan was just to rest him and get the best out of him tonight...
Right.
What? I mean, that pitch looked as if you could have ran the Kentucky Derby on it. Yet he never has a bad touch. I mean, it's insane. He hit the post twice. I've never seen anything like this. I was saying to Stevie earlier during the game. We can rake through all the great players of the past, and we can talk about Ronaldo now. I've never, ever seen anybody who can manipulate the ball with 3 or 4 players within a couple of yards of him and find a pass. I mean, it's just incredible. And the other guy I was laughing at he's had a bit of stick recently for not scoring, particularly away from home in the Champions League, Luis Suarez. Yeah. Luis Suarez it's a bit like Firmino at Liverpool. The movement, his movement and understanding of what's around about him, the 2 dummies that he made, just alone, I saw it at Liverpool for years when I was commentating back in England, and I'm seeing it at Barcelona. Yeah. He's scary. He's another one. He's just an incredible player.
And those are the things that never show up on the stat sheet.
No. I just had a couple of flashes through my head of what we saw today. Tottenham at times had 3 and 4 defenders. Messi was running at 3 and 4 defenders, and every one of them was scared stiff to go anywhere close to him. That's how good he is.
Backing off.
They don't want anything to do with him. Yeah. At the same time, you've got to say, Spurs were unfortunate that they had so many injuries. But the truth is, even with a full squad, it wouldn't have made an awful lot of difference.
Would it have made any difference?
I don't think so. No. I mean, do you think they would have taken 3 points? No. We can fluff this whatever way we want. They're on 0 points, right? We've now got 2 teams in 6, 2 very good teams, in Inter who've already beat them, and Barcelona who should have beaten them by more because Messi hit the post twice. We can butter this up, but this is another one where Pochettino's going to have to go away, particularly in the game in Milan against Inter, where they actually played okay, but threw it away. He's going to have a damn good look at himself, because at this moment in time, they're going out of this group into the Europa League.
Well, hugely entertaining game at Wembley. Spurs 2, Barcelona 4 was how it finished. Ali, there's been a lot of fretting in the Barcelona camp about recent league forms, who they'd left out, were they going to produce? I guess they answer those questions.
You still have Messi.
Yeah.
And when you see him play at the level that he played tonight, then he's still the best player in the world. His ability to create separation. Once Tottenham trying to pressure, they broke through that pressure. Now Messi's head up, running at the defenders. There's nobody better in the world than he is. And so he picked the passes, he scored the goals, he was great today. And it didn't help that Lloris went for a walkabout in the first goal and then allowed Barcelona to settle into the match. But Barcelona was much better tactically, technically than Spurs. No question about it.
Spurs kept it close for a while in the second half, Greg, 2-1 and 3-2. Was it ever really that close, though?
No. And Spurs fans maybe walking away from Wembley thinking, well, that was quite entertaining. Well, it was because Messi hit the post twice. In the space of a few minutes. I mean, the game could have been... I mean, they've come into England, into London, scored 4 goals, could have had 6 or 7. Their defensive deficiencies of the last few weeks, we're still there for all to see. But as Ali said, Messi back in the team and absolutely on fire.
Yeah. Any excuse for Spurs, all the players missing... Stevie?
No, they just got outplayed by a better team. And if you didn't see this game, don't be fooled with the scoreline, because a couple of little spells for 5 minutes where Tottenham managed to score and get themselves back in the game, 90% of this game was all Barcelona. Tottenham weren't really in it, so don't be fooled by the 4-2 scoreline. This was a comfortable win for Barcelona.
They love their trips to Wembley, don't they, Barcelona? You have to say that. A couple of Champions League and European Cup wins at Wembley Stadium, and easily another 3 points for them. ESPN FC available every day on ESPN+.
PSG 6, Red Star Belgrade 1. Stevie Nicol, how many realistically could PSG have scored in that one?
Could have been double figures, could have been 10.
Very one-sided. What does that say about the Champions League setup and the group stages? This isn't the first kind of dominating performance that a team has put in.
Well, I think what the sections do is they give the opportunity for some of the bigger guys to slip up. You know, you don't have to look at Real Madrid. They slipped up during the week, but you know they're going to go through. That's kind of, in my opinion, why they've set it up the way they have.
Real Madrid have lost. City were poor on match day 1 as well. PSG have looked good. Does that change your thinking as to who the outright favourites maybe are now for the Champions League? Would you put PSG as your main favourites?
Not at all. Why would we?
That's not changed anything.
Well, listen, you just look at history. They sail through the group, or definitely get through the group. And then when it comes to the big game, comes to turn-up time, they don't turn up.
Neymar, hat-trick. Let's focus on that for a second. 2 free kicks, wonderful. They would have beaten any goalkeeper from any team, never mind Red Star.
Yeah, I mean, the free kicks were just exceptional, regardless of who the opposition is. The goalkeeper sets his wall up correctly, but sometimes there's just nothing you can do. As far as Neymar's concerned, it's one thing to do it against Red Star. He needs to start doing it against the likes of Liverpool or Real Madrid or Barcelona.
Liverpool, Champions League favourites.
One of, yes.
6-1 PSG. Stevie said that could have been anything.